A cold and silent somberness fills the air here. This is a place of sharp clarity. Through the echoing halls, an assortment of, well, I suppose we might call them rogues, but there is not very much roguish about them. They wear rings, the emblem of an eye on the outside. And we see one such member walking down a corridor, flanked by some attendants. Guardian of the Seventh, senior sight warden of the Eyes of Avalier.
You see, standing tall but with a cloak and a hood pulled up just behind his feathered head, a 6.5 foot tall Icefura, so a bird person, if you will, with very white feathering that falls into brown tips, a dark beak with slightly gray, slightly bluish eyes, proud, strong shoulders, strong wings tucked back but fairly folded back beneath a cloak, and a badge of some sort that's just slightly hidden on his person. His arms sort of tucked in tight, only to, if for no other reason than to hide the double holstered axes, hand axes that are underneath his arm, and wraps around his wrists and his taloned fingers and feet as he moves along. And this is Cerrit, Agrupnin. Cerrit obviously likes to fly in. He likes to just do a couple circles around the gala just to see who's taking their time, who's talking to who, clock what's happening.
Hell yeah.
And then land far from the entrance before he tucks his wing back in. And actually he doesn't enter right away. He kind of throws his hood up, and he is a 6 foot tall Icefura, but he still stands back a little bit and just clocks who's going in, who's talking to who's arm in arm together.
Did I notice Cerrit coming in?
You know how Cerrit enters. Cerrit does not like his name announced and broadcast as he enters.
I was actually waiting for Xerxes. That was the last one. So
cool.
I start making my way towards the entrance, and as I near the herald, I actually quickly and very stealthily sneak up behind him and sneak just a finger under his throat. And it has a gold piece in it. And I say, "Keep that name to yourself." And I'll slip up just behind Xerx. Real quick. I'll see you at our table.
There is a nice little round table and some like booths on the side, it's cushy.
Yes.
And and then that's where we have our little private area.
You look out, protected in this ivy silence, with all of the power of the flying city of Avalier at your disposal. You look out at magisters, deans, and provosts of the flying city, apprentices of the Ring of Gold. And the 6 people who actually get shit done may finally, after a long day's preparation, have a moment to celebrate.
What did I miss?
Oh, not much. We were just getting settled. And look at this, the first replenishment for the Ring of Brass. Feels right.
You see a wobbling Hodmadad who has stopped serving drinks. Just sort of wobbling there. Thoughts. These are automata. They're not sentient. Listening through detect thoughts. Godrenis. Oh. And you see the tray clatters to the ground, and the Hodmadad disanimates and is a pile of clothing on the floor, soaking up the champagne. Cerrit, you find a quick room to yourself. Quiet, off to one side, small chamber in the Palazzo Porco. As you look at the Hodmadad disanimated, what do you do? Describe to me what it is you want to do.
So I'll spread it out on the floor.
Yeah.
But then take a step back above it. My crest starts to feather out, and I'll take a look just at first at what I see, and then push in closer.
Something's wrong. You're not alone in this room. You look up in a mirror in the chamber, and you can see behind you, smaller than grains of sand, there are 2 pupils.
I go about my normal business, bring my eyes down from the mirror, continue with the items, and I will slowly reach under my arms and unsheath both of my hawks. And as fast as I can, I'll spin and not only draw both of the hawks, but my wings come out.
Hell yes. You whip around. You see where the eyes are, so you don't need to even see where the neck is. If the eyes are that far apart, right there. The first thing that becomes visible is the blood hitting the wall, and you hear the drop before the spell fades.
Oh my god!
This person went from being invisible to being dead and didn't have time to register what was happening. You see a body materialize out of invisibility. Chunks of skin carved off of a shaved head. Lips carved off of a face.
What?
Wearing rags covered in infernal runes. A mortal man who nonetheless is stitched together with orange irises and bloodshot eyes staring out of a dead face. You hear behind you from the mirror.
Oh.
You will never reach the Wild Mother's embrace in time. Are you looking for something? You turn around, and in the mirror you see a shape. In mist, swimming in the fog. In the mutilated face of Vespin Chloris. Reaches forward, hits the other side of the mirror, the glass cracks, and the face is gone. And the crack remains as you see your own image behind the shattered glass in the reflection.
Cerrit will stand there with his hawks still drawn, sort of at a ready position.
Mm-hmm.
He'll say, "Well, that's not something you see every day."
Perfect.
I'll exit the room and I'm going to search immediately for Xerxes.
As you are preparing to exit the room, you hear a noise. A sending stone in your back pocket, in one of the secret compartments that you keep. A small sending stone is...
I'll retrieve it.
As you hold it aloft and move it so that it can create noise, you hear a voice say, "This is Talon to Wingspan, Talon to Wingspan."
Yes.
I am in position, and I am reporting that Egghead is preparing to break curfew and sneak out of the house to go to a party. And you said that she's not allowed to leave, but she's about to leave, and she has no idea that I'm here. She has no idea that I can see her. She's about to do it.
Oh my god!
This is Carl.
This is your son,
My son,
Kier.
yeah.
This is your son, Kier. He's using code names for
Talon.
you, himself, and your daughter that you have never heard before. They change a lot. The code names change a lot depending on what he thinks is cooler that week. And you are standing in a room with a dead body listening to your son describe your daughter about to head out to one of what have to presumably be many parties happening on the eve of the replenishment.
Sure. Tell her, this is Wingspan. Say again, this is Wingspan. Communication's a little shoddy. Wow. Did you say Egghead is snuck out?
Affirmative. I see her. She stuck downstairs into the kitchen, and she got a bottle normally reserved for Wingspan and Clear Eye, and
And I saw her take a swig from it, and then she made a face like it was really bad. And then she took another swig from it, and then made a face like it was even worse. I don't know what it's about, but I know she's up to no good.
This is very good, Talon. Very good. No. You are in no way to engage with Egghead. She's dealing in dark magic.
I knew it.
Keep an eye, but keep your distance. I kind of look over my shoulder at the door in the room. I'll be home when I can. I love you very much.
Is that... I love you too, Dad. Sorry, I thought we were still doing...
No, Talon, keep objective professionalism.
Yeah.
No telling who could be watching.
Copy that, Wingspan, and me too. Me too.
Thanks, son. I'll be home later.
Okay. Do you know if Mom's supposed to come home tomorrow, or is she gonna miss the whole? Is she gonna miss the whole replenishment?
I don't know. I don't know. I think she's gonna try and make it back by tomorrow. Your mom's a very busy scientist, brilliant woman, as you know. But she works at her own pace. But I'm sure if she can be here, she will be.
Affirmative. We'll keep an eye to the skies, Pop, and Wingspan, and I'll tail Egghead and make sure that no funny business.
Okay, copy that, Talon. Don't get too close and stay away from the evil, dark magic liquor drinks that she's...
Don't worry, Dad. I already collected a vial and I stored it in my evidence locker.
Talon, where would this evidence locker be located?
The evidence locker is in a secret compartment under my bed. No, it's in a different place. Don't worry. Nothing else is under my bed. I have to go. I gotta go real quick, but I'll talk to you soon.
All right, talk to you too, Talon. Over and out.
Over and out.
It's actually just over, but it says over. Out.
It's a snitch.
And you're a big fan of that.
Yeah, my son's loyal. You know who's loyal. That was fucking amazing. Oh my god.
His kid is way cooler than my kid.
That kid didn't get sucked into any portals. You know what I mean?
So a sobering moment.
A sobering moment.
Yeah.
However, you are back in the room and you are about to leave the door.
I put the sending stone back in my pocket. Deep breath. Exit the door. Look for our first night. My question, is there anything that would cause the city to fall from the sky?
As it was doing.
Are there defaults? Are there redundancies? We are now directly above the Wild Mother's embrace.
So here's what you know. What Cerrit said. Can we stop the city? Can we stop the city in the air? Yeah, that's doable. That's doable. But you know the cost that comes at.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a solution. There might be something clever. There might be something you could do that would answer the energy problem.
I'm trying.
How does your ring work?
My ring lights up in the presence of deception or a lie.
I'm lying to you. I know how to stop it.
Oh.
I just don't want to yet.
Jumping this lay right. I'm going to ask questions because I'm not an arcane user. So I'm trying to play big league with you guys now. Do we have to be docked to do it with Kath Moira?
Yes. None of this works if we don't dock. Whatever replenishment needs to happen.
Yes was all I needed. Evandrin, he went to this other place, came back, and was never the same again. Yes or no?
Yes.
And you want to send this entire city with our families to that place at that risk?
Yes.
I leave.
In Laren's effects, you see a scroll of birch bark. You see a birch bark scroll that you recognize as being druidic in nature.
Oh my God. As I'm getting ready to leave, I'll just call out what I see. You might want to check what's in her pocket. There have been some incredibly selfish actions amongst this group. I don't know if we'll survive the night, but I'm going to go take care of mine now. And I leave.
Off of the Meridian Labyrinth. Okay.
I'm heading to the Hawk's Nest, and I'm heading to my office. I'm going back to that room. I just want to see, has there been attack? Has there been attack? Is anyone
The Hawk's
alive?
Nest is mostly empty. It's the middle of the night. You know, people are either out on watch or doing whatever. You go, you fly to your room. There are no documents on your desk.
Yeah, figures. I take the sending stone out of my pocket.
Okay.
Kier, listen to me very carefully. I need you to find your sister and meet me at home. Can you do that?
Wingspan, who do you think you're even talking to? I followed Egghead, and Dad, remember, code names.
Sorry.
I followed Egghead. She doesn't have any idea I'm here. She's talking to a girl at a party. She's got, I think she's a Triton because she's got like blue hair, and they're
Talent.
talking a lot.
Listen, this is
They're
very,
talking a lot, and they're drinking stuff. They're drinking stuff.
very exciting.
There's a big party. It's at the Sorcerer's University. It's there's a bunch of kids. Everyone's talking about a fireworks extravaganza. I'm not sure if it was even permitted.
Kier, listen to me. Get Egghead and tell her it's an emergency. You know what we talked about before. This is important. Please get her and come home as fast as you can. Do you copy?
I copy, Dad. Is everything okay?
Everything's fine. Remember, code names.
Sorry. Wingspan. Roger that. Mission and objective set. Gather Egghead and rendezvous at home base. Over and out.
Out.
I love you, Dad.
I love you too.
You go to find, it's right down the hall from you. You go into Orwin's office.
Oh, yeah.
It's quiet in here, door's locked. You open it, and you see 2 feet sticking out from behind the desk, prone.
I unholster the Hawks.
Hey.
I look around the room. 10 feet blind sight. Anyone in here but me and him, or the feet?
Blood's had time to sink into the carpet. There's no one in here.
He's my old partner. I'll walk around the side of the desk.
You walk. You see, as he was bleeding out, the artifacts are gone. The things from the crime scene are gone. But you look, Orwin was a good eye of Avalier. And he looks up in death, and you can see from some of the drag marks here that he took a couple out with him. In his hands, you see that there are 2 magical items. They are a simple thing. You know what they are. The eyes need to use magical items like these because you guys aren't wizards, and you have to make it make sense in this world of magic and insanity, and try to find reason and logic in a place that seems ruled by the belief that there are never going to be prices or consequences for any of this. They're simple magic items. There's 2 of them. They're like potions. You break them, and they do the spell that they're supposed to do. They're called Runes of Recall. You see scrawled in the script of a dying man to his old friend. He says, I don't know how much time we got. They're for your kids. They're keyed to the mom. And that's all that he had strength to write.
Thank you, my old friend. I'm sorry I missed all this. I'll take them.
2 runes of recall. 2 tickets out. Your wings spread. You leave the hawk's nest for what rapidly feels like it may be the last time. And you fly home. You fly as fast as your wings will carry you. As the revel, it is now about 4 a.m. Even the sounds of revelry have largely diminished, such that the noises of explosions and screams that begin to move through the city, you fly and begin to see the fire starting in various neighborhoods. People are beginning to scream. You fly over Excelsior Plaza and see people rushing to a porter's dais, a teleportation dais. You see a porter, as people start screaming, seeing devils charging around a corner. You see a porter in uniform saying, everyone, do not crowd the platform! Do not crowd the platform! You see a terrified spellcaster cast command on the porter and say, get us out of here! And you see all of them vivisected as the teleportation has too many people, blood all over the dais. Boom. Devils attacking, burning Canalthi corpses with open doorways in their chests as devils crawl out. You are headed towards a neighborhood that seems to have less of this going. You're home off in a different neighborhood. You see sky ships off in the harbors, but for right now, the chaos you see is mostly in Excelsior Plaza, where the most awake people were. But for the vast bulk of the city, just some fires are breaking out. And you know that it will be a long time, that people have no way of knowing what is happening. You are moving as fast as you can.
Towards the Cloudstone?
Towards Cloudstone, yes. Yeah. Off towards your home, exactly. You see that the sky. You're one of a few who are flying. You see multiple flying mages escaping from one thing or another, begin to sort of fly by. There's one mage that's levitating in midair, his face covered in blood, just looking stunned, unsure of what has happened. You move through this place, and a light on the balcony, moving into your home. You see Maya looks up at you, your daughter, who is a young teenager, got a little bit of awkward plumage molt, like teenager molt around her neck. You see that she looks and she goes, Dad, I wasn't drinking, or I just another kid saw it at the party. I didn't know that there was anything.
I know, honey, it's all right. It's okay. I didn't see any of this coming. Are you okay? Are you hurt?
Well, we were doing.
Where's your brother?
Up in the rafters, hiding. You see your son holding his little thing. Says, "Copy, I'm here."
Here, please come down here.
A light's down. Hey, Dad.
Okay. I look out the windows behind them. I just do a quick 180 sweep as fast as I can. Is there anything perched, any danger, anything following them? Is this room clear for the next 30 seconds?
You do not detect any invisible presences. To your knowledge, it is safe. Hearing distant noises, you're rattled. You're not working on a baseline.
No.
You see, it has not gotten to the point yet where Kier and Maya, the screams they're hearing could just be 4 a.m. night of the replenish. It's hard. It's is that someone being crazy and drunk outside, or is that something else? So both of your children look at you, and Maya says, Dad, what's wrong?
I'm gonna tell you all about this at some point. I promise. It'll be an incredible story, but right now, I have a surprise for the both of you.
As you say that, you see that Kier looks down, as does Maya. Maya points to your hand and says, Dad, why is your ring glowing?
Oh. Why are you like this?
Oh, God.
It glows when danger is near,
Okay.
which means that you need to get out of here. I have a special gift, and I take out the
runes of
runestones. Yeah. This is for each of you. It's going to take you to your mother. She's very excited to see you. But I need you to listen to me. Whatever you do, don't come back until I find you. Stay away from the city.
Dad, why are you talking like this? Is
Maya, it's
everything
very
okay?
important that you listen to me. Yes, it's okay, but I need you to listen very carefully. It's up to you to take care of you and your brother. Do you understand?
Well, you see, Kira says, but if the city's not safe, what about my friends at school? And wait, we had a... And you see,
Kira.
Maya says, Dad, why are you talking like this? Like, we're going to come back
I understand. I take her hand. I open it. Kira, come here. I open his hand as well. I love the both of you so much. So much.
Dad.
I take the stones, I close their hands, and I clasp them shut.
You see, they look with those stones in their hand. All that they need to do is break those stones in their hand, and the spell will take effect. You see that Maya looks up and says, Dad. And you see Kira starts crying and goes, Dad, did I do something wrong?
No, baby. I'll always have my eye on you, and I squeeze their hands.
And both of them vanish as you see Maya goes, wait! And they're gone.
You said that because you're the sideboard and you can see
The ring slowly stops glowing. They're out of the city. And you stand in the home you built with rain. It's so quiet, and it hasn't been quiet in years. You look at your ring and the emblem of the Eyes of Avalier. Looking at this home and all the noise that would be here with young kids growing up. I think it occurs to you how much time this ring took from being in this home. Because there may never be the sounds of home and hearth, life and laughter in this place again. The price you paid was that here at the end of things, you still don't get to hear the laughter of your children in this home, as was the case so many long nights of devotion and service.
Cerrit slowly takes the ring off of his finger and almost absent-mindedly starts to walk to his home office just down the hallway. Pushes the door open, and he's furious. He goes over and snatches a candle and looks around and holds it to a nearby wall. And watches it just dance up.
The flames move up. You step back out into the hallway. You are perhaps unparalleled in all the world at discerning fact from fiction, from spotting lies. And the last lie you told was to get your children out of here. And outside your office, you see small little indentation in the wall, little discolored patch where young kids would come and get their little food-stained hands up on the wall and press their head against the door to see if they could hear what you were working on.
I see that. Even as I start to hear the familiar sounds of flame, I head over to their rooms. I open the threshold and just stand. And I take in how long it's been since I just looked. Really looked. Here. Not outside of this dwelling, but here.
Your brilliant detective's mind looks at a room and begins to piece together stories, tiny fractions of a detail. From the turn of a corner of a notebook on Maya's desk, you see that she has an incredible talent for history. Otherwise, why would she have gotten so far ahead in that chapter book? You look and see under Kier's bed the telltale carpet throw of a child hiding some kind of toy weapon or something that he shouldn't have, and see from the shape of it that they are small hand axes. And here in this moment, you put all of your vast intellect to work so that as the flames begin to lick the wall behind you, you solve the mystery of who your children were.
Well, that's just not cool. But true. As it burns behind me, I think of where I've come from, a family devoted to this city. I think of where my family has gone, and I let all of it die for now, because there has to be focus for what comes next. I steel myself, and as supersonic as I can, make for the Meridian Laboratory.
Like a bolt, you leave your burning home behind. 2 minutes until replenishment. You are 2 minutes from the city docking.
You see the city coming. Chaos, ruin, but ships are leaving. They have been leaving. They streak towards the sky as fast as they can.
Avalier descending. As it comes down towards its ancient home, Toramunda, Mount Igora, where Raushan and Kamort were sealed by the Dawn Father and the Wild Mother in the schism in ages long past. The door to the Layrite bursts open. Taxmen come surging into the room, and Misty stepping in. Vespin Chloris. You've been training your whole life to kill bad mages. Feathers, wings. You kick his hand. He drops his arcane focus, and as he goes down, you bring an axe into the back of his neck. And
Yeah, actually, I hook the back of his neck. I sink it in, and then I'd use it to turn him around.
You are in the moment where your skills have never mattered more. The skills you spent a lifetime building have never mattered more than in this moment.
How you doing, gorgeous?
There he is.
The man you've been tracking down. You always get your man. Here we go. He erupts in flame, and you twist into the explosion, and your wings. You are left unharmed by the fire. Vespin goes to cast a spell.
I see Vespin aiming for Laren, and the hawk that he usually keeps in a concealed manner, the blade rests in the palm of your hand. You can fold your fingers over it, and that's it. He reaches back and lets it slide all the way down to the bottom of the handle so you get the maximum momentum. And he sinks it eye to eye straight into his temple and pulls it down.
With the yank on the hawk, you watch the light go out of his eyes. And a silhouette of him in flame is all that is left as his body is wrenched back to the bottom of the 9 hells.
Oh my God.
Standing in the center of the room, still fighting with every breath, all of you feel as the city settles. Cerrit, you hear in your stone, Wingspan, this is Clear Eye.
I hear you, Clear Eye.
What's happening?
You sound so afraid. Don't be.
You speak now to... You see that the stone gets grabbed by your son. He says, Dad, this is Talon. We're back in... Where... And you hear the voice of your wife, Rain, go, Darling, we are in Grisar. All is well. Let me speak to your father. Okay, bearer code names. And you see, she says, Wingspan, I'm here. They're both here. They're both here. Tell me you're coming.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I was never there. I'm sorry I never saw you or them. If I can, I promise I will make it up to you.
That's a promise, Dad. That's a promise.
Darlings, I want you to go inside. Everything's gonna be all right. You hear the noise of your children. Darling, is this goodbye?
No. No. Those children are the best thing we ever did. And it's gonna take a lot more than this to stop me from getting back to them and you.
You begin to hear the rumbling. Darling, I want you to know, don't in your heart have this, don't feel regret. Moments seem like they're gonna last forever all the time. You look for problems, darling. I know you see the moments that you weren't there. Our children loved you, and I do too. You're a great father. You're a great man. And I don't know why. The eruption of energy. Stone goes dark. Noise. Energy. Cerrit, in this final moment, knowing that there's chaos outside, the halls are crumbling, energy is being released, do you attempt to keep your promise to try and make your way out, or do you accept what is to come?
I'll move to the door
And look, my children deserve that. My eyes go wide, feathers up.
Can I send him across the bond? The labyrinth that I know so well, like directions to the closest viewing window that he could potentially make his way out of.
The directions to the yes, absolutely.
I'll try to just throw him my talisman. I have a packed boon talisman.
Laren and Loquacious embrace. Your movement is the only thing that saves you, that you can move 150 feet around. As Avalier crumbles and the magic spreads, sprinting through collapsing tunnels, soaring as fast as you can through tight turns.
Do we still have some remnant of a telepathic bond?
Yes.
Can I reach out to Laren and say, the brass ring endures. I want you to know you gave us a chance.
Ash, heat, rising faster than you can imagine from the earth. At the very top of that cloud, the last member of the brass ring gets to keep his promise to his family. You fly for weeks over oceans choked by ash and soot. You don't get to give your kids the world that they deserve, but you get to give them the world that they can fight for with you. The calamity will last for centuries, and at the end of it, 2/3 of those living beings of Exandria will be no more. Some large amount of that greater number died not only in the first year, but in the first moments of calamity. Though it will see centuries of strife and ruin, one day, the people of Exandria will triumph.